Well, hello everybody. This is Susan for SLC Aquatics, hashtag fishfamMom, coming to you live this Tuesday evening in I guess 6 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Hope everyone's been doing well. Hello, Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane, the Comedy 2020, Craig's Catfish Cave, Ed's Picking Up Cichlids, Chew. Hope everybody's hearing me and seeing me fine. This is Susan for SLC Aquatics, touching lives one fish at a time. So, I hope you all have seen the title for tonight's broadcast. It asks the question, what does this aquatic hobby mean to you? And then in the description I said I really need to hear your input tonight. And in a very special way, I need to hear from you in chat. I'm not on StreamYard, so I can't put your response up on the screen, but I will be able to go back and review the chat if I should miss anything. And also, once the video does get through rendering on YouTube, others can go back and see what responses in the chat were as the broadcast was live. Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane says, AV good. Thank you very much. I hope you all that tuned in last Tuesday night got to enjoy the premiere. I was there for a few minutes and then I had to leave to go open up the church. We had a really good revival at the church. And just wore out because it was a very busy week, and plus we've had a lot of storms. And Sunday morning the water actually came onto the porch up to the front door. We were able to put towels at the threshold and a rug to keep it from coming into the house. And then Rod actually prayed and asked the Lord to make the waters recede, and they started receding, because I had this vision in my head that we're going to be pumping water, sweeping water, mopping water, blowing fans, mopping disinfectant, all before having to go to the church house for a revival service. I just mentally I was not there, and I'm just thankful that the Lord heard his prayer, and immediately the waters started receding. Tuesday night we had another storm come through. We didn't know if we were actually going to be able to hold our services, but everything went well. And at the last amen and closing the service, the power in the church went completely out for like, I don't know, 15-20 seconds, and then the lights came back on. And I said, well, the Lord is done, go home. And then the evangelist, who was our guest speaker, she lives about 45 minutes from here, and as they were driving home, the storm was kind of like following them, and they even had neighbors in their area call them. Undoubtedly she has a basement or a brick home or something, and they called to see if they could come over and shelter in. Jeff Kane says, I like fish, making more fish, and it gives me purpose. That's beautiful. Do y'all want to hear from me? Over 10 years ago, I got back into the hobby, and it seemed like I started out with 2 20-gallon aquariums with guppies. So I became the guppy lady. But over the 10 years, there were many different species that I tried, some bred with or without my help, whether I helped or not. And that's always exciting when you have a new species that's starting to be happy in your setup and reproduce. Of course, Honestly, lately, I have not been into my fish. This hobby, I've upsized, downsized, upsized, downsized. It's been a roller coaster ride. I want to say the last 3 to 5 years. Um, it's become more of a labor than it has been enjoyable. Even though there's moments like Rod wanted to change the species in his 10-gallon that sits beside his recliner because his the beta, beautiful beta, did finally pass away, and he has 3 little cories in there, but there wasn't much movement going on. Hello, Fish Family. Hello, my fellow fin loving friends. Hello. Also, years ago there was talk about, well, you can make money on YouTube. You can if it's the only thing that you do and you treat it as a job, and you upload shorts and reels and clips and live stream, and if that's was all that I was doing, I would probably say yes. If I'm home alone, I don't have other responsibilities, I think I could get back into it and organize it and really enjoy what I was doing again. Um, but that's not life for me, and that's not the truth. I have a lot of responsibilities. I am married to Mr. SLC Aquatics, and I love him very dearly, and I appreciate him, and even got him interested in fish keeping. And the irony of all of it is that his aquariums, once he took time and did everything I told him to do and set up his aquariums, they actually do better than a lot of my aquariums do. And it's so funny. I've had guppies, like I said, most of my life as a kid, and then again as an adult. And the guppies that I gave him 5, I think, at first. And they did, swim around a little bit. And he goes, I think I like these guppies. I need more guppies. I think I added 10 to 12 more. And he has nothing but male guppies in his aquarium, so there won't be any reproduction and overstocking in his little 10-gallon tank. And I personally have never seen guppies swim the full depth of the aquarium. For a 10-gallon, it is amazing to see some will swim at the top, mid-water, and bottom. And even once we started adding guppies, the Coridora, they're the bronze cories, they started going into spawning activity. And I mean, he really got a lot of entertainment, and still is getting entertainment out of that little aquarium. So keep giving me your feedback. Jeff gave us his feedback about he likes making more fish. I like fish, and it gives me purpose. So that's all I'm going to comment at this time. So it's your turn next to give me input. Hey 3G, how you doing? Tonight's question is, what does this aquatic hobby mean to you? And I really need your input tonight in a special way. I know there's periods in our lives that we go through, ups and downs. Sometimes life gets busier than at other times. Sometimes your fish rooms get neglected. Ed's picking up cichlids. I'd like to hear from you because you've worked in a pet store. And you have set up over 100 aquariums now in your fish room, and you have different species of fish as well as many different species of shrimp. And so I want to know, What motivates you? What keeps you going when you're not in the mood? When you're not in the mood to go down there and feed your shrimp, feed your fish, do water changes, what motivates you? I know in a way they, if you're a humane person, you care about them because they depend on you. It's like having a cat or a dog or any other pet, reptile. Because we keep them in captivity and they don't have the liberty to come and go in nature and fend for themselves. I know a lot of species actually have better life cycles in our captive habitats that we create for them. So, what motivates you in this hobby? Why are you keeping fish and shrimp? A lot of you do have club activities that you get to participate in, and I'm pretty sure that helps keep you motivated in the hobby. Next, we have 10 current viewers. So, sound off in chat. Tell us, what does this aquatic hobby mean to you? I also know that this aquatic hobby, like any other hobby, if you have others that support or do the same, love doing the same hobby, the camaraderie is very important. I love doing live streams, but there's times when I'm tired or not motivated, and I'm like, I don't really care. And I'm just being honest tonight. And then there's times when I'm like, but there might be one person out there who really needs to see me and to hear me tonight. And it keeps me on the straight and narrow, Craig's Catfish Cave says. That's beautiful. Sometimes we need a motivator to actually help lead and guide us and keep us out of trouble, keep us from getting into worse hobbies or habits in our lives. Jeff says, YouTube is my club. They are my naughty club. Thanks, Jeff. There's a lot of different hobbyists. I know I got started on Facebook, and there was a question that I was putting out there, and somebody said check out Aquarium Co-op on Facebook. So I saw a couple of Corey McElroy's videos on Facebook, and I got really watching a lot of his videos, and I'm like, oh, this is exactly what I need. I didn't know somebody else, I didn't know they were doing that on social media. Ed's picking up cichlids says, I sleep, eat, and dream about fish. I have gone through the last year not feeling it, just doing the minimum, feeding them and water changes once a month. I understand that too, Ed, and thank you for your honesty. I know a lot of times the demand that's on the job, and then when you get hurt on the job, ouch, then you have some health issues sometimes, and you got through that. Craig's Catfish says, sometimes I want to give up, but then I sit and watch them and it all goes away. That's beautiful, Craig. That's beautiful. I sit there and watch them, and I'm like, yeah, that tank would look better if I did a water change. I still got those 20 longs that Jeremy gave me sitting on the floor. And by the way, Sergeant Tank has started back up, and I'm quite proud of him. He took all of his videos down briefly, not, unpublished them. And now he's adding them a little here and a little there, and he's doing live streams. He's there not only about the hobby, but he's there for life issues. And that's what basically I'm here for. You know, we've always prayed one for another. We've kept each other in the loop when there was a death or illness. I think the first 2 or 3 years, the hurricanes were tearing up so bad, and a lot of the fish fam were affected by them. And we did GoFundMe and fundraisers, and dispersed money to those who contacted us. And you know, there's some really great people out there who do the same thing. It wasn't just fishfamMom doing it. Um, but I thank you all for those supports. I started with a small group on on YouTube, called the Bucket Brigade uh, folks. And then through Corey and Jimmy and Jeremy and John and different ones in the hobby, then we started calling ourselves the Fish Fam community. And that's what's been so beautiful. A lot of people say, well, the Fish Fam community's really changed. It should have. Anything that's alive will go through changes, good and bad. There was some that where a lot of drama started and everything, and that should have never been. But human nature loves drama, some of us, and it gets mixed into every community, every forte, every hobby, lifestyle. It finds its way in. Life happens and drama happens. But I like the Fish Fam community because when you're down and out, when you have substance abuse, when you have health issues, when you have mental health limitations, this allows us to be able to come together non-judgmental and non-criticizing. And you're always welcome as long as you abide by the community guidelines and my guidelines, as the description says. Ed says, now I'm back. Going to Peru. Really got my fever when I got to see where they live. Test water perimeters, meeting people who live there. That's a unique opportunity, and I'm so glad that you got that opportunity. Ed's picking up Ciclet also says, watching aquarium co-op members only is awesome. Their guest speakers are awesome, and the topics they speak on. I'm still learning after 60 years of keeping fish. It's awesome. Hey, Vanoski, welcome to the live stream. Vanoski, tonight's subject is, what does this aquatic hobby mean to you? And I really need to hear from you tonight in chat. Open up your heart tonight and spill it out, and share with the people tonight, what does this aquatic hobby mean to you? Yes, Ed, when you have an open mind and an open heart, you should always be learning until we draw our last breath. And I know Ed and I at one time discussed on a live stream the importance of, no matter whether you have 5 tanks or 500 tanks, we need to have a contact person that knows what our wishes are after our death or after our life here on earth ends, how they can come in and either donate or sell the fishes to our local clubs or societies. And therefore, if you have a loved one, or if there isn't a loved one at the home, you can help take care of that, and the species don't just sit there and die. Vanoski says, love fish. Spill the fishy beans tonight, Jeff says. That's cool. Yep. And Craig says, my partner knows what I spent. She be making a fortune in sales. Oh, if she knew. Or if my partner knows what I spent, she'd be making a fortune in sales. I hope I understand and said it correctly. Stephen P. Hi, honey. Welcome to the live stream tonight. The fish and the plants get me out of bed and moving around. The community keeps me in the hobby. That's beautiful. Yep. 3G says, I've always been an avid fisherman, so it's a way of bringing nature indoors. Watching the fish behavior is what I enjoy the most. Thank you, 3G, and thank you, Stephen P, for your all's input. FishFam Link says, did you remember to hit the like and subscribe? Thank you, FishFam Link bot. Vinoski says, my comfort in my life. My comfort in my life. I think, Vinoski, is that what you meant? My comfort in your life. Yes. I know it can be comforting. I think for mental illness wise, being honest and saying sometimes just not into it, just like any hobby. There's days my fish fast, and so far it hasn't affected any of them in the fish fan room. My black moor goldfish, they get depressed. If there's no food, they get depressed. They're foodaholics. They sit on the bottom of the tank and they don't do anything. The shabumpkins outside, they're always ready to eat. And so my outside tubs make me get up out of my chair and go outside and see about them. Both of them, all of that out there needs a complete makeover. And I need to finish my filtration project. Ed's Picking Up Cichlid says, what I enjoy the most is talking about the hobby. I get to do that at fish club meetings as a speaker and at work when I'm helping someone or a family how to start an aquarium from start to finish. Comfort. Yes, Vinoski. Thank you, Ed, and thank you, Vinoski. CRP Fish, Cheryl, hello and welcome to the live stream. Good evening, Susan. Good evening, Cheryl. Good to have you with us. Tonight's question is, what does the aquatic hobby mean to you? And just open up tonight, be honest, and I'm being honest and telling everybody, you know, I've been in this for over 10 years now here on YouTube. I'm not worried anymore about making the money. I'm not worried anymore about growing the channel. I've hit those goals to where even if I never do another live stream or my videos will make money, but I want to go back on some of my old videos, take some of them down, and do some edits on some of the others, and put them in a good category. Ed's Picking Up Cichlid says, just the last meeting I had, someone wanted me to speak to her one-on-one on how the setup of a shrimp tank. We spoke for 20 minutes before our club meeting, then gave her my phone number for extra help. Isn't that beautiful? That's wonderful when we can help someone else in the hobby. I know I've been a guest speaker at one club, and that was a virtual meeting during COVID, and it was actually the morning that I was doing my son's memorial service. I was able, for the 2 hours that I was the speaker, to put that out of mind so that I could answer any questions that they had, give any suggestions. I was able to give them a tour of my fish room, which at that time I think I had about 14 tanks with different species in it, and I really enjoyed that. And then I had a couple hours to relax before getting my thoughts together for my son's memorial service, which also happened to be an online event with church people, fish fam people, and his RPG Discord family people. Is Dina here? Dina, did you come in? Hello, Dina. Welcome to the live stream, sweetheart. Hello, Fish Fam. Jeff Kane at Empire of Dirt Aquatics says, I typically enjoy doing the live streams as an extension of my hobbies. The kayak fishing streams are definitely my favorite to do. Wow, that's exciting. I couldn't get in a kayak. First of all, I couldn't fit. And second of all, I'd probably turn myself over and drown. Yes, I'm here. Thanks. Tonight's question, Dina, is what does the aquatic hobby mean to you? And want everybody to be open tonight and share. Craig's Catfish Cave says, and music motivates me sometimes. Good. Music is always a great outlet, even for me. A lot of times I don't remember how much music means to me. I'm pretty sure if I was to engulf myself again in music, even in my fish room, that's going to maybe help motivate me. Hey, dear. Cheryl says, this hobby has given me an outlet for creativity, nurturing, as well as it calms me down and helps when I'm frustrated with life, having my hands in tanks. Awesome. Yes, it can be very therapeutic, mentally, emotionally. It can be very gratifying and very soothing, and it's even proven that if there is blood pressure or heart rhythm issues, sitting in a fish room or hearing water bubbling, watching the fish swim, watching them interact and eat by the food that you put in can be very therapeutic. Dina at Everything Aquatic says, wait a minute, I missed something. And Cheryl says, being a part of the fish fam has brought a sense of family and camaraderie, as well as a sense of belonging. Yes. Thank you, Cheryl, for your honesty and opening up tonight. Dina says, well, to be honest, it has become my livelihood. I can no longer work and would be on disability otherwise. It helps me to focus on what I can do instead of what I lost due to the stroke. Dina also says, I still have a few tanks. Watching the fish is very relaxing and grounding to me. See, a lot of times we're not aware that, I said earlier, mental health. Most of us are introverts. Not everybody, but some of us are introverts. And then those who have health issues, like Dina has experienced having a stroke and was not able to return back to work, but her sales at her website keeps her alive because it's now her way of making money in order to make ends meet. Hi, Marianne. Good to have you with us tonight. Fish is my husband's passion. I'm involved only to share this hobby and love with him. I enjoy the beauty of the fish setups and have learned a lot from Ed. That's beautiful, honey. Craig's Catfish Cave says, this morning at 7 a.m., I played True Blue, I played True Blue very loud so everyone in our housing area heard it. Well, I hope that doesn't get you in trouble. And of course, Jeff Kane says hi to Marianne, and so does Cheryl. I appreciate you all for opening up. Stephen P. 2003 Aquatic says, would you consider yourself an introvert, Susan? I really am, but I use different parts of my personality um, to disguise the introvert part of me. I'm able, in most circumstances, to overcome it. I'd rather stay at home. I'd rather order my groceries and have them delivered. I'd rather have food delivered to my home. And if I have an outlet, I would rather be on the screen. My personality, Stephen, has changed over the years. As a young girl in school, I would say I was very outward and very go get 'em, and I didn't have social fears and anxieties that I now have. I'm not medicated. I don't have to take any medicine for it. So to a point, yes, I think I'm an introvert. My husband says I am. My daughter says I have anxieties that I deny having. But I can feel my blood pressure going up, my chest tensing. Even the work that I do at church in the sound booth, I'd much rather be what I think is out of public view, even though I'm not. It's hard to define. Y'all help define me. FishFam Link says join as a channel member. I forgot to tell them I don't have memberships anymore. So please check your accounts. Make sure you're not still being charged as a channel membership, because I deactivated it from my channel. Jeff says, depending on the day, situation, or the people I'm interacting with affects my level of introvert, extrovert. Thank you, Jeff. I think I may have the same type of personality. I know sometimes my daughters come and want to take me out to lunch. And so because they want to take me out to lunch, I will do that because of their sacrifice. But I'd rather them bring it in and us eat it at home. And Craig says, my mood does it for me. When I'm angry, I like to be alone. Yes. Sometimes I want to toot the steam when I'm angry, or rant, as they say. It's not healthy for everything that comes out of my mouth, because if the wrong people hear it, then they're hurt and offended, and they're shocked, because that's not my normal personality. But we all have a relaxed state that we're in, that the real person comes out. Doesn't mean you're that person all the time, but for that moment. Stephen says that describes me pretty closely. When COVID hit, my life didn't really change, and it also made things more convenient to my lifestyle, like more delivery options and remote work. Ta-da! I agree, Stephen. But I know it's not healthy for us to stay in. And my husband's a very outgoing person. He loved working on a public job. even though he does love what he does for the Lord at the church, he'd be a much happier person on a public job where there's variable people, variable jobs, just, you know, but things changed for him as well as our household at that time. Or with the fish. Agreed. Jeff says, small groups or one-on-one, I'm normal. Okay, large groups. Even if I know everyone, it's still a 50-50 chance of panic attack. Yep, and you just never know, do you, Jeff? My daughter, Joanna, even when they traveled to California for her stepbrother's wedding, she took what she could, and then she had to just get up and leave. So her anxieties are worse than any of us. I found out in late years, after my father had passed away, that he was schizophrenic. And I didn't see that part of him because he was treated and became a very quiet, withdrawn person by the time I was born and grew up. He still liked fishing and betting on the horses and things like that. And he knew my love for horses, so I got to every once in a while go with him, and I enjoyed it. Holly, hello Holly, welcome to the live stream. I have no filter. Hey fish freaks. See, some people just can just tell it like it is. But tonight's question is, Holly, what does the aquatic hobby mean to you? And spill it out. As Jeff said, spill the beans about the fish hobby in the chat. Thank you. And I'll read it, unless you don't want me to read it. Ed's picking up Cichlid says, I also love swap meets and auctions where I can sell my bred fish. I find myself at swap meets selling them for less than store prices and sometimes giving them away at the end to spread homebred fish. That's beautiful. Nice. I really am enjoying this, guys. Craig's Catfish Cave says, when I first started cleaning, I'd send Belinda in to talk while I hid in the car. My nerves and anxiety was bad, but I got better. Good, Craig. I'm glad you got it got better. And then, of course, Jeff says, Holly, it does depend on the day. Stephen P. says, Jenna asked me, do you want to go to a restaurant for your birthday? I said, you lost me at that. Do you want to go? I have sacrificed a lot this past year because I know my husband likes to go out to eat. I hate to go out to eat. I don't like eating in public. I don't like everybody seeing how I smack my lips or drop food on my shirt or pick and separate my food. And I just know in their mind they're criticizing me. Or sometimes I don't separate my food. I just mesh it all together and eat it. So it depends on what I'm eating. So he'll go by the fast food places and we'll park on the parking lot and eat it because he likes hot food. So there's times he compromises for me, and there's times I compromise for him and go into a restaurant and eat. So I think that's called marriage. Oh, a lot had to do with me thinking I wasn't good enough. Building up our self-esteem. We have to work on that. And I know a lot of the fish fam that had really strong anxieties, the more we encouraged them to come with friends, people they trusted, to even some of the big conventions like Aquashella or some of the club conventions and things, it brought them out, and they had to be honest and go back to their room for a while. And then when they got the nerve back up, they ventured back out for little moments, and they really enjoyed themselves. Some of them didn't, but some it helped. And nerves on top. And what state are you in? Pennsylvania, near Philly. And then Cheryl says, hey to Holly. And Empire Dirt says, I'm confident I know, but I can't recall. Oh, okay. Okay, I was remembering correctly. Growl at them. Growl at them. Hey, Sketty Nona, welcome to the live stream, honey. Mwah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight's question, Sketty Nona, is what does the aquatic hobby mean to you? And everybody's telling in chat. So open up and let us know what it means to you. Cheryl, you have some amazing fish. Jeff says, Sketty, hi. Sarah, hi. Thank you, Sarah. That means a lot. Sketty Nona says, I didn't have social anxiety until I moved to Iowa. That's terrible, Sketty. How moving to different locations into different communities where you really don't know the people, then sometimes there are cultural differences. I know when I first moved from Virginia down to Alabama, my first 3 years were horrible. I wanted to go home. I wanted to leave. I made everybody miserable around me. I was miserable. I wanted to go home. Now I've been here so long, Virginia's no longer home. But it's a nice place to visit. Ramphonic says, good evening, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I'm on my 9-day work streak. Oh, well, welcome to the live stream. Tonight's question is, what does the aquatic hobby mean to you? And spill the beans. Let us know in chat. And I hope that you get an off day ASAP. Sketty Nona says, Craig, I love going on your adventures with you. That's sweet. Dutch Reformed Church, Sketty Nona. Very small town. Wow. I've never been in a Dutch Reformed church. I bet that culture is very, very different. And then, you know, some people like small churches. Some people like large churches. Some people like mediocre sized churches. I went from a small church to the building grew, congregation grew somewhat. I would say at one time we had gotten to about 700 or 800 people on a Sunday. And then COVID struck. Illinois has not been my favorite so far. Sorry, Holly. And then Sketty's in Iowa, Illinois. Now, Holly, you were in Texas and moved to Illinois, but it's not your fave so far. Well, I hope you find your happy place no matter where you are, because there's no place like home. That's my plug. Anyway, Sketty says, they're a tough group. They say to your face, if you ain't Dutch, you ain't much. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, you moved to Illinois. Sketty Nona, I feel for you, sweetheart. But make your happy place at home in your abode. And I pray that your confidence will build to where no matter where you are, you can be you and you can be happy. Jeff says, Holly, head north. Illinois is icky. If you keep heading north, it gets colder and colder. Oh my goodness, what time is it? Oh wow, I started a little bit early. But what does this aquatic hobby mean to you? And I told you guys in the description on this live stream that it's very important. I think I needed to hear your inputs. I'm not able to get out and participate in my clubs. I'm not able to go to conventions like I want to. I know that my mindset with my fish room would improve and get better if I was able to get out and participate more in the community. I know that. So what I'm having to do is take my moments. There's times when I don't even go in the fish room. There's times like I had a problem tank. That little 10-gallon tank kept fungusing up and kept getting all of this crazy sediment in there. The sponge filter wasn't cleaning the tank. So I shut it down. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. So I shut that tank down. I disinfected it. I cleaned it with peroxide and with vinegar water. And I wiped it down. I know, right? Even alike. Memberships, super stickers, super chats, oh my. They are fun and they help support the channel. Thank you, Fish Family. There are no more memberships on Susan for SLC Aquatics. I disabled that, so keep a check on your accounts to make sure you're not still being charged for memberships, because YouTube will be getting all of your money, not me. Bless you. Thank you, Holly. Holly, you should try to get to Quad City this fall. What part of the state are you in? Bless you, Ed says. Thank you. I don't know where that came from. It came out of the blue, Craig. It came out of the blue. What's Sarah say? Let me see. Is getting Nona, Sarah? Champagne Camargo? Wow. Don't even know where that is. I third that, Sarah. Sounds like you really need to do something there, Holly. Yes, I'm Sarah. Thank you, sweetheart. I talk to you on Facebook and YouTube and don't even know your real name. But I appreciate you all really pouring out your hearts in chat tonight, and it's encouraged me. Sometimes I get really sad that I've done what I did, but then there's times when I want to go in there and I want to see racks of tanks and fish, and then water changes, or a problem tank happens, or nobody likes sick fish, but that's like any pet owner. If it's alive, you got to feed it, you got to take care of it, and if it gets sick, you have to do your best to help it get better. And then when you do have fish loss due to disease or age or whatever, you didn't set the tank up right, you didn't water change enough, there's always, you have to take responsibility as the pet owner. But then there are things that are beyond our control. And you don't need to beat yourself up. If you get depressed, you don't need to beat yourself up. If you get anxious, you don't need to beat yourself up. You just need to step back and take a breather. And I reach out to the Fish Fam community tonight to help encourage me to see if this is really what I want to do for the next few years. Stephen says, water changes are part of the therapy for me. All the maintenance, trimming plants. That's good. Sometimes it's therapeutic for me because I love watching the fish's reaction in a water change. But then there are species that I keep that I get nervous with a water change because now I have to worry about my pH levels, and because the water that I have in my house is not always, it's not the same as when I started the hobby. So sometimes you have to change species so it's not extra work. Oh, gotta go back up. Depression sucks and affects us differently every time we experience it. That's true. And that the older you get, sometimes your hormones play havoc. Craig's, she just made me get another 6-footer. She made me. I love it, Craig's. You have some great plants. True, Sarah. Jeff is showing the Wisconsin Fish Fam Cookout August the 1st at 12 p.m. Through August the 3rd, 1 p.m. View details and RSVP at this calendar app. Google Holly, come to the cookout. That's awesome. It's a little far north for me, guys, but you all please have a wonderful time. Depression is awful. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Yeah, I think mine's more moodiness, because as long as I'm busy, as long as I'm doing something, but I will binge watch videos on my phone, just because my mind won't be still. And there are things I should be up physically doing that I actually start having tailbone pain. I start having leg and foot pain because I'm not getting up and moving around. Now I have indicators on my watch, smartwatch, that tells me get up and move. So if I stop what I'm doing and stand up and move around and sit back down, you feel better. Sarah says, I hope you come, Holly. That's wonderful. But guys, again, this is Susan for SLC Aquatics, hashtag fishfamMom, coming to you live from my office fish room. And I do appreciate you all answering the question tonight. What does this aquatic hobby mean to you? May all of you be blessed. May the peace of God surround you and encourage you. And until we see each other again, this is Susan for hashtag fishfamMom. I love you.